Hi everyone, my name is Soleil Gukian, and the topic I chose is self-advocacy. I have ADHD and have always had a 504, and my mom is an educator, and growing up she really taught me the importance of self-advocacy, and I think without her teaching me that, I would be a completely different person. Because I learned self-advocacy, I was able to stand up for myself and ask for the things that I needed, support when I needed it, explain my thinking to my peers, ask for space, different things like that. And now I'm able to better advocate for others because of this. So I think that I would like define self-advocacy as the ability to understand your own needs and communicate them clearly to others. So this means knowing your strengths, knowing where you might need support, and being able to speak up for yourself in a respectful but also in an effective way. So this could include things like understanding an IEP or accommodations, asking for help when needed, expressing your preferences during a decision making, letting adults know when something isn't working or when you need help, and understanding rights and responsibilities. Self-advocacy isn't just about talking. It's about knowing yourself, making choices, and being active. And not only being active, but being proactive. And it helps students become more confident, whether they're asking and saying, I need more time, or I learned best when this, or I don't understand this, can you explain it a different way? It's super important that when we are teaching self-advocacy, we're also teaching proactiveness. So teaching self-advocacy should and could start very, very early. And it should also happen across many different environments, whether that's the classroom or jobs, social settings, even at home. It's important to start teaching this early. Everybody knows the I do, you do, we do model. Students really, really learn well from adults modeling different situations. So I think as teachers, we should constantly be modeling. You can do this in statements like, oh, I need help understanding this part, or can we take a quick break? But students learn from hearing and seeing adults advocate for themselves as well. It's important to teach students about their disabilities and their strengths, but we need to ensure that we are keeping it age appropriate and empowering. The students are able to learn, here's what helps me best, or sometimes I need support when doing blank task. But this sets the foundation for super healthy independence. Role play is something that is super beneficial. So asking to practice everyday situations by asking a teacher for clarification, or telling an employer about a needed accommodation, asking your peers for support. But role play builds confidence before real life situations happen. There's that part where I was talking about proactiveness. You could also do sentence starters. Because a lot of students work really, really well with visual or verbal prompts or frameworks, such as I feel blank when blank because of blank, or I need help with, or I learn best when blank. But this gives having these supports gives concrete language for your students to learn and to use. Also, involve your students in their IEP meeting if it's age appropriate. Even if it's something small, whether they're choosing a goal that they want to work on and achieve, or reading a strengths page. But this helps them build ownership and prepares them for transitional period planning when they get older. It's also so important that we're constantly celebrating every single advocacy attempt. Self-advocacy is hard, and sometimes it's really scary. So even if it's not perfect, it should be treated as a success and should be celebrated, because praising our students helps to build their confidence and encourages independence. There's lots of obstacles when teaching self-advocacy that could arise. So it's something that all educators and teachers need to be made aware of. Some students may not understand their disability yet or aren't comfortable discussing it. So if you're going to talk about this, you need to ensure that you're approaching it carefully, respectfully, and as well as gradually. Communication barriers are also a big thing. You are going to come across students who are nonverbal or have limited verbal communication. They may have social delays or anxiety struggling to speak up. So they may need things like AACs or visuals or explicit confidence building activities are all something that is beneficial to situations like this. Cultural or family expectations are huge in my year of student teaching. I am really loving that I get to watch firsthand and be a part of learning how to navigate different cultural expectations inside of a classroom. But in some cultures, some students may be taught to not question authority or ask for help, and this can affect their willingness to advocate for themselves. Also, learned helplessness or fear of being different. Some students just don't want to stand out, so it's important to create a classroom environment where differences are normalized and they're celebrated. And again, praise is super essential. Anyways, I think that self-advocacy is one of the greatest gifts that we can give ourselves as well as our students, because it's so important that you're learning to speak for yourselves. But whenever you do this, you're learning to take charge of their own lives. So, that's it. Go out and advocate for yourself and teach self-advocacy to some of your kids. Have a great day.